Today, let's get into the story of a man whose career took a turn he absolutely never saw coming. It's a journey that started with a pretty simple dream, but ended up right in the heart of one of the most intense and passionate sports you can imagine. Okay, so picture this. You're in Wetzlar, Germany. The atmosphere is just electric. You've got 5,000 fans on their feet, screaming their heads off, totally lost in this huge European Championship game between Germany and Israel. And that is the exact moment Utku Ertan realized that everything he thought he knew about basketball was about to get turned upside down. So that's the real question here, isn't it? How did this guy, a referee who was pretty skeptical, end up finding his life's passion in a sport he almost just laughed off? We're going to follow his incredible and honestly pretty hilarious journey to find out. To really get it, we've got to rewind. Let's go all the way back to the beginning of his story, way before any international arenas or the sound of wheelchairs on a basketball court. It all kicked off with a flyer he saw hanging on a university tree. It just said, "Want to be a referee?" And for Utku Ertan, the answer was 1,000% yes. His dream, his whole goal, was to be on the court for the biggest games in Turkish running basketball. He was imagining himself officiating these legendary showdowns between giants like Efes and Galatasaray. But yeah, the path wasn't exactly smooth. Right from day one, someone told him, look, if you don't know anyone important, don't even bother applying. He basically ran headfirst into this wall of politics and nepotism. Then another ref makes a rules mistake, but somehow the penalty for it gets pinned on his name. And to top it all off, after reffing 2 games where his own childhood team lost, he gets labeled an enemy of the club. His dream was, going sour fast. So, just as he's feeling totally disillusioned and about to walk away from the sport he loved, a friend throws out a simple suggestion, one that would completely change the entire course of his life. In this moment, it's just such a huge contrast. On one hand, you have his lifelong dream of being a top FIBA ref. And on the other, his friend says, hey, why don't you try wheelchair basketball? His reaction, he was completely dismissive. His first thought was literally, what wheelchair, bro? He almost laughed it off, thinking of it as a huge step down, not a new door opening. But that skepticism, yeah, that was about to get completely blown away. His entire view of the sport, and really his whole career, was about to do a complete 180. So the real turning point came when he started training with this legendary and famously intense coach, Harmon Yazagiolo. And during those training sessions, something just clicked. Utku stopped seeing the wheelchair. He just started seeing the sport. He was watching the incredible skill, the complex strategies, and the pure athleticism it took to play at this level. And let's be super clear about what we're talking about here. This is not just some kind of rehab activity. Wheelchair basketball is a high-performance sport. It's played on the exact same court with the exact same 10-foot hoop. The only difference is the unbelievable skill it takes to master the game from a chair, mixing speed, precision, and strategy into something totally unique. By embracing this new path, he didn't just find a new career. It literally gave him the world. Where his first dream felt blocked at every turn, this one was about to send him global. Just look at how fast this happened. He starts in '99, and then he just rockets through the ranks. Just 3 years later, he's in Bosnia, acing this super tough international exam. By 2007, he's at that massive European Championship we started with. And a year after that, he's in Beijing for a pre-Olympic tournament. He wasn't just a referee anymore. He was one of the absolute best in the world. Of course, becoming an international referee comes with its own special brand of chaos. Some funny moments, and yeah, a few near-death experiences, starting with his very first international flight. So get this, he's flying into Sarajevo for his big exam, and the plane hits this insane turbulence and just drops like 100 meters in a second. Drinks go flying, people are screaming, and Utku just calmly turns to his mentor and says, bro, it seems we're gonna die before I even become an international referee. Then, during another game, a Croatian player gets furious about a call and yells this very specific Slavic curse at him. What he didn't know was that Utku remembered hearing that exact same chant from football fans when he was a kid. So he just instantly blows the whistle, giving him a technical foul, and leaves the player totally stunned that a Turkish ref could possibly know what he just said. And then there was this one time in Italy. He's reffing a game and his phone, which he left on the scorer's table, starts ringing. He'd set the phone's language to Italian to practice, and his boss just starts frantically yelling across the court. "Utku, Chiamata is calling." His boss genuinely thought a person named Chiamata was trying to reach him. Utku said he almost fell over laughing, trying to explain that Chiamata just means calling in Italian.
So, all these chaotic travel stories and funny moments, they're great, but they point to something way deeper. This journey was about a huge fundamental shift in how he, and everyone around him, saw the sport and its athletes.
Let's go all the way back to that game in Wetzlar, Germany. That number, 5,000, it's so important because it represents a crowd that wasn't there out of pity or sympathy. They were there for the love of the game, screaming for their team with the same raw passion you'd find at any other major sporting event. And it was in that moment Utku knew this was just sport, pure and simple. And this idea is captured perfectly by Mehmet Akin, the captain of the Turkish national team. When someone asked him for his most unforgettable memory, he didn't talk about a win or a trophy. He said it was the time a whole crowd swore at him with the same anger they'd show a normal basketball player. For him, that wasn't an insult. That was the ultimate sign of respect. And that, right there, is the heart of this whole thing. Utku's journey taught him that the real power of sport isn't just about who wins or loses. It's about its incredible ability to just erase barriers, to demand equality, and to celebrate human potential in its purest form, no matter the circumstances. Utku Ertan started out chasing one dream, only to find a much bigger, more meaningful one when life forced him down a different path. It really leaves you with a final thought, doesn't it? What kind of ideas are holding us back? And what incredible world might just open up if we're brave enough to say yes to the unexpected?